I want to start with this. Over the holiday weekend, after a grueling year, let's be honest, it's been a tough election year for everybody. Like all of you and your family, it took time to reflect, in part on the current political landscape. And this is where we want to start tonight. And I want to share some of my key conclusions. And I'm just telling you how I feel. I don't care. I could care less what the fake, phony, selective outrage from the media mob is. I am not interested, nor do I think any of us should be interested in what they tell us they find offensive. The sanctimonious, high-minded, phony concern all of a sudden about American democracy. We, frankly, don't need lectures about truth, about integrity from what is a depraved group of Democratic donors, the media mob, and Democrats that never accepted the results of 2016, ever. I don't care what they think. They lied to you and us for 4 years on the most spectacular level. They dragged this country through hell with Russian lies, conspiracy theories, and a hoax they pushed for years. It was all a lie. They all advanced the lie. They all advanced the conspiracy theory. There was never Trump-Russia collusion. 4 investigations, no collusion. They peddled that phony Clinton bought and paid for dirty Russian disinformation dossier. The one that I mentioned claimed that Donald Trump had hookers urinating in his bed in the Ritz-Carlton in Moscow. That's what they sold as truth to the American people for 3 years, peddling those lies. They had no problem with the phony dossier. They never retracted their phony stories. They didn't care that that phony dossier was used to secure FISA warrants to spy on a presidential candidate and then a president for 4 years. So all of you in the media mob, oh, this is a threat to democracy, asking questions about election irregularities. Save us your phony BS lectures. They are meaningless to the rest of us. You dragged this country through hell. You did it again with your phony Ukrainian impeachment witch hunt. And you totally ignored and protected the real quid pro quo with Joe and zero experience Hunter and the family of Biden and their massive payouts, from the Burisma Group, a Ukrainian oligarch, a Russian oligarch, the First Lady of Moscow, the $1.5 billion deal with the Bank of China, and, of course, shopping sprees from Chinese nationals. You shielded the weak, frail, cognitively struggling Joe the entire election. The 78-year-old guy, Democrat, was allowed to hide in his basement bunker. The media that lectures us now, they allowed that. They were Biden's attack dogs. They did the bludgeoning of Trump for Biden. So for the media, there's no honesty, there's no fairness, there's no fidelity to truth. We don't need their lectures. A 4-year-long effort. They never accepted this president, tried to delegitimize him every second, every hour of every day. You might remember.
We are looking at the possibility that the President of the United States and those around him during an election campaign colluded with a hostile foreign power to undermine the basis of our democracy.
We're about to find out if the new president of our country is going to do what Russia wants.
This is evidence of willingness to commit collusion.
This cloud about collusion with Russia will hang over him no matter where he stands.
I can certainly say with confidence that there is significant evidence of collusion between the campaign and Russia.
I think what it means is that a federal judge found that people in Trump's organization were colluding with the Russians.
It does look like collusion. It does look like he's listening to Putin more than he is American intelligence. And frankly, I've never seen that before.
Now those same hacks are demanding that we, the American people, 74 million strong, just fall in line and accept their new standards and accept election results without investigating what are valid affidavits and claims by fellow American citizens under the threat of perjury, of fraud. This is a bad joke.
Dizzying 12-hour period where the president assaulted dedicated civil servants while simultaneously trying to undermine the outcome of an election.
About these tactics, both by the president and by his campaign and by Republicans who support him, that after an election, Elections officials are now subject to lobbying, subject to pressure, subject to enticement or threats. Like the only way to stop that becoming the new normal, at least in Republican politics, is for some people to go to jail for it.
I never thought I'd see a day where you saw pretty much an entire party in this country refuse to accept election results.
Amazing how they changed. 4 years that they lied with Russian disinformation that Hillary paid for. They're that out of touch. That's the mob. That's why I call them the media mob. They're not looking out for you. They're nothing more than a glorified, overpaid wing of the Democratic Party. They're their propaganda arm. They'll spread lies, conspiracy theories, have their temper tantrums, give us the lectures, and I think we can take a few weeks to investigate election irregularities. According to a poll, New Politico survey, nearly 80% of Trump voters believe this election was tainted with fraud, and you have every right not to have faith and confidence. How come all these other states got it right? We have a right to be concerned. We'll follow the facts. We'll highlight concerning allegations and irregularities. Now, we'll also review some highly unusual voting patterns in America's swing states. Now, that's because we're not the media mob. This show, in this hour, I am not told what to say. I don't vet the information on this program that I give out. We have always been independent, follow our own path on this show. That's not going to change for me, ever. We vetted Obama. Nobody else would tell you about Acorn, Alinsky, community organizing, black liberation theology, the Reverend Jeremiah Wright, Ayers, and Dorn. The media gave Obama a pass. On this show, we did not. We were vindicated also. Just look at the Horowitz report on all the Russia lies. I don't know what Durham's going to get. It's a little late. We have been right on quid pro quo Joe and zero experience Hunter. We vetted the Biden family's international pay-for-play schemes. The media mob ignored it all. And by the way, we'll continue to investigate. And now as the media buries their head in the sand, we're going to investigate the integrity of the election. And we better get to the bottom of it, or we'll never see an election we'll ever have confidence in again, ever. That's not good for the country in the long run, is it?